Okay, so now when I pull up, you see how it remains in little mountain peaks. They flop over a little bit, but they're still holding their shape. So at this point, I want to start slowly incorporating the granulated sugar. Good. That shows you that they're at a good stage. They're not moving on you. They're not falling on you. They're not sliding around the bowl. That means you're in a good place. Phew. We don't want to over mix it. And the way that you can check that is by pulling the spatula across the top in the shape of a figure 8. And you'll notice if I try to do that right now, it breaks. See how the dough just stopped pulling? Pulling up, over, down, and connecting. So there's our figure 8. I think you can see that pretty clearly there. So that is done. We do not want to keep mixing that because it's going to over mix. You're not going to get the rise that you need. You're not going to get your feet, and you're not going to get your skin that you need that we're about to talk about. So I'm going to cut this little tip off, my reinforced tip. And what I'm going to do is put a little bit of the macaron batter right on the corners, and that's going to stop the parchment paper from slipping. So here's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to put this aside just for a second. And the other nice thing about having that measuring cup nearby is I can just shove it in there with the tip up so that it's not going to ooze everywhere. This is a super important part. What you need to do now is tap this down about 5 times. So it's a little bit loud. I'm just going to drop it literally on the counter. 1, 2, get rid of that tape, 3, 4, 5. What this is going to do is settle that little tip that you see. And now I'm going to finish piping the other 2 trays, but these need to rest for half an hour to an hour. While these are resting, I'm going to make the curd with you guys. But what this resting period is really important for is it's going to form like a little skin as it touches the air. And that skin is how you get the smooth top of the macaron that then has those little feet that build up underneath it when it bakes and rises. Look at the shine on those. Here we go. We give it a great big whack, whack, whack. By the way, I want to say, if you do find a recipe for curd that you like better that requires a double boiler and you don't have one, what you can do is take a saucepan like this one, put about 1 inch of water in here, maybe a little bit more depending on the depth of your bowl, and then use a glass bowl or a heat-proof bowl over top of that. That's a great way to melt chocolate. It's a great way to make curds if you have a double boiler required. By the way, if you don't know what a lemon curd is, just in case you don't, that would be what you get in a lemon meringue pie. It's sort of this like gelatinous, lemony thing that's super tart, super sweet. It's delicious. It's one of my favorite things. Yes, beautiful. See how barely anything changed? That means our skin has formed. Yeah, so these are definitely not the classic shape. I'm not going to apologize because that's what happens with baking. Sometimes something's a little bit different in the atmosphere. Literally, there might be a little bit more humidity. I've mostly made macarons. Oh, that's a lie. I've made macarons in the dead of winter and I made them in the dead of summer. Don't know that I've made them around this time of year. It could be that I overworked them. It could be that the food dye was a strange consistency and adding however many 6 drops changed the chemistry. It could be that I waited a little bit too long when I was piping them. It could be that I didn't tap them hard enough. There's a whole bunch of different things that could have happened. The best part about the macaron is that they are still going to taste great. And because they have feet, I know that the inside structure is still going to be good and it's still going to have that chew to it once it's had its full 24 hours to bloom.
Yum ba bum bum bum. Yum ba bum bum.
I like the one that's just straight up sugar.
That makes sense.
Delicious.